we're gonna talk about some amazing things this evening.
Amazing, but interesting. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of social media. Why are you trying to?
I'm trying to
Why
be
are you trying to talk along
harmony with you.
You're trying to talk with me?
Harmony. We're harmonizing.
We're harmonizing?
Like the Beatles or a gospel group. A gospel singing band up in front of the church.
Okay. Well, you can just stop doing that now.
You.
It's going to be one of those podcasts, I can tell.
Here we go.
Anyway, so yes, the pros and cons of social media. And there are countless pros and cons of social media. I'm just going to touch on a few that I found when I was doing some research for this podcast. I found a few good ones on. What are you doing?
I'm just playing with the stuff up here.
Are we recording or are you being
we're recording. Yes, I'm being stupid. We're doing both those things.
So why are you humming over me trying to explain what's happening?
I'm testing your concentration skills.
Well, they're poor. Right
obviously.
Now. I got these pros and cons. There's 10 of each, 10 pros, 10 cons, off of developgoodhabits.com. Pretty cool website I found when I was doing research. And I wrote them down in my handy dandy little notebook, my spiral notebook that Jeff bought me, an orange one.
Because I think she's special, and I think of her when I'm out at Target alone.
You're really sweet. I appreciate that. You're
Thank
so
you.
kind.
That's what I was
Aren't you
looking.
glad
That's
I'm
what I
not
was
expensive?
fishing.
I'm
That's
not
what I was fishing
expensive.
for.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll go through the pros first. How about we do that?
Let's do the pros.
Let's do the pros first. Let's start positive, okay?
Let's start positive and negative.
One pro of social media is pretty obvious, to keep in touch with people easier.
Great pro.
Keep in touch with people easier, right?
It's easier to keep in touch with people.
Because think of how many people that you wouldn't communicate with, that you wouldn't be in touch with if it weren't for social media.
That could be a negative.
I know for me, I reignited some friendships from, way back in the day because of Facebook. My left ear just went out.
Are these romantic relationships?
So now I can only hear my right ear.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but it's okay.
You serious, Clark?
I only need one ear. No, they're not romantic relationships.
That's why God gave you 2 ears, so that on a podcast, if your one ear went out, you'd have another one. You have a backup ear.
Oh my gosh.
It's in the Bible.
Okay. But no, they're not romantic relationships. They're friendships. But if it wasn't for social media, if it wasn't for Facebook, I would have never probably spoke to them again.
I agree with this.
Because I didn't know their numbers, you don't talk, whatever. So it does help you keep in touch easier with people.
It does.
Agree?
I agree.
I agree too. Sorry, I had to open up my thing here. What?
No, nothing. Just you opening up your thing.
Why is this popping up? I don't want that to pop up. And you can
That's
search for people. You know, somebody pops in your head. What's the first thing you do when somebody pops in your head?
You creep it on Facebook for them. Or if you're at work and you're like, you've talked to this person on the phone for 2 years, and you're like, I'm going to put a face with a voice, right?
Right.
What do?
You look them up.
You look them up on Facebook.
Because
everybody's on Facebook.
Almost everybody.
Almost. It's kind of declining now. I don't. The only time I really get on Facebook is to see if I know somebody.
Right. Because almost everybody's on Facebook.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Anyway, but it can go for things other than Facebook. I mean, Instagram, Snapchat, all of it. You can keep in touch with people easier. Number
TikTok.
TikTok. I don't
Twitter.
follow as many people that I know on TikTok.
LinkedIn.
TikTok is almost strictly people that I didn't know.
That's kind of the nice thing about it.
I found people that I do know along the way. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know so-and-so had a TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. That's what rattled me the other day. I was sitting there and I pulled TikTok up. And a little box. Have you had this happen?
What?
The box pops up that says connect with friends. They're starting to do that crap now.
Yes, I had that happen the other day.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I used it.
I like it that the people don't know me very well.
Well,
And I have a whole new community of people and friends that are separate from Instagram friends.
We do. And but I like it in a way. Because people come out of their shell on TikTok, and I'd like to see some of my friends.
Or they don't, or they just get a profile with no
Okay,
picture, and
yeah,
they
you're
watch you,
right.
and then they judge you to
I
all
don't
they.
care if people judge me. I do not care one bit if people judge me.
I snuck a negative into the positive list.
Anyway, number 2.
Oh.
It's easier for introverts to socialize. That's a pro. It is.
Yeah, but there's no such thing as introverts. So
There is. Jeff seems to think there is no such thing as an introvert.
you just don't like people. Why can't they just say I don't like people?
It's not that you do, an introvert. It's not that they don't like people. An introvert is somebody who might have, like, I don't know. They don't think they all have to have social anxiety, but they just keep to themselves. My dad's an introvert. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of, unless he's in the mood to be an extrovert, and then he's an extrovert.
He's never an extrovert. My dad's
I've been out with him when he's goofed off with everybody in the room.
Yeah, but that's not not on an average every day. There is such thing as an introvert. I can't believe you're sitting here saying that there's not. That's rude and disrespectful to those who are actually an introvert and like to keep to themselves and are not outgoing like I am and you are.
Gosh, I'd love to get you riled up.
I'm going to take this microphone and I'm going to seriously knock you over the head with it one day. One day I'm going to lose my stuff and I'm going to knock you over the head with this microphone.
It's going to be an entertaining day.
Seriously.
Can we move on to another positive?
I guess, if you don't want to talk about the introverts, but I think that it does make it easier for them to socialize.
It does. I'm so happy for the introverts that they get to they can communicate now.
Right.
And you know what? I'm kidding. I love introverts, all of them.
Oh my gosh. Okay. How about this? Number 3, it speeds up communication.
Sort of.
So you would rather send a letter, sir?
I don't know.
So
People snap me, and 4 days later, I respond to them.
Let's type up a letter. Let's seal it up, and let's address it. Once you find the address, and then let's go to the post office and let's put a stamp on the thing. Then let's put it in a mailbox and let someone come pick it up, get in a truck, take 2 days to drive it to someone. Or you can just open up Instant Messenger and message them.
Can I give you the positives of mail? Real quick.
Oh, yeah, please.
Let me give you the positives of mail. For me, the introvert.
Oh, you're an introvert now.
Well, now when it comes to social media, because
you pick and choose what side you're going to be on.
Duh, haven't I always? Here's the deal. You've got Snapchats coming in, right? People are like, bro, I'll finally respond. They'll be like, it took you 6 days to open my Snapchat. But if a letter comes to my house and I know it's not a bill, I can't wait to get it open.
That's bullcrap.
And nobody expects me to respond to it. It's amazing. I get something and I don't have to do anything.
Okay, well, let's flip it. And what if you need to communicate something to someone? Are you going to write a letter that you want a fast response on? Listen,
No,
Jeff,
it doesn't work that way.
Jeff, listen. Guess what? If you don't want Snapchat because you don't want to respond to people and you don't want to do it, then delete the app.
Oh,
it's
I do.
Simple.
I do want to respond to people. It's just I don't always think about responding, and I don't want to open their. It's always at a time when I can't respond. I know. Here's the problem with me and my brain. If I open that snap in a meeting and I see it and then I get back out of it, I'll never respond because I'll get busy and forget.
If the
so I
person
leave
says you didn't respond, say I forgot.
I do.
Okay, so what's your problem?
No, I was just talking about mail. There's still some allure to mail. There's still that you open up the mail and you pull the paper out and there might be a $5 bill in there from your grandmother.
Mail, she can cash out me. She can get
she
the thing
can't
and she can
cash app you.
She could if she wanted to.
She has a flip phone.
Point.
Your parents won't even cash app. They're like, we're not going to trust that.
All right, fine. Jeff, you know what? You go ahead with your mail. You go ahead with your fax. And while you're at it, why don't you just get you a freaking beeper? Just get you a beeper while you're at it.
I'm bringing beepers back. Hey. Remember the drug dealers using the beepers?
No,
Those
I don't.
were the days.
I do know drug dealers, Jeff. I don't hang with people
You weren't a thug like me, clearly.
Oh my gosh. you're just being okay. Anyway, number 4. What do you think about this one? A pro of social media. It eases loneliness.
There are arguments and studies that say that it actually makes you lonelier.
Okay, Jeff, we are talking about the pros? Do I need to get my whiteboard out and write it out so you can stay focused? Because you're going to the negatives. Maybe there is a con that says kind of the same thing.
Okay, my bad.
Could you stay with the program,
We're
Bub?
going to stick.
Hey, Bub.
No bubs.
Bubba.
No bubs in this
Buddy.
freaking closet.
Buddy.
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Could you stay on focus? Could
Yes.
you stay on target?
Sure.
Okay.
So less lonely.
Let the captain drive the ship tonight, and you just sit back and just...
I've been waiting. I can't wait. Later? Is that what you're talking about? I am totally down.
Okay. I think it does ease loneliness. I think that, like, you know, if you can't get out, you know, during the whole, well, it's still kind of going on, the Rona stuff, you know, people who live by themselves can get on social media. They can open it up. They can, look at what happened on TikTok when we were shut down. Like you just said, we met a bunch of people we wouldn't have known if it wouldn't have been for social media.
You're right. I'm
I
going
think that a
to
lot of
give you
people
this one.
who live by themselves, I think social media came in handy so they didn't feel so lonely. You can watch live videos, you can message people, you can just look through people's photos. I think it does ease loneliness. I think that's a really good one.
I agree with you.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad
Gosh, we're on the same page there.
Damn. Number 5. Number 5, pro. Promotes compassion and empathy. Now, here's what I know, and I was a little confused by that too, and I'm going to read what this article says. Social media is often viewed as a negative influence in people's lives. However, some social networking sites users have attested to becoming more compassionate and developing empathy when they viewed posts that promote compassion and or understanding. Example, posts asking for support for victims of natural disasters. Why are you pointing at me and interrupting what I'm saying?
Because the last time we did a podcast and I listened back, you were like out in left field, it sounded like. And it's because you hold your microphone over here.
You know what? Here's the thing.
You need to hold it in front of your face. Like it's a, you know, and
okay.
It'll be clear. You'll be happy.
Okay.
You'll be happy with the result.
I'm
I promise.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
I swear I hate you right now. I know you just bought me a steak and a drink.
God, it was good.
But at this moment, I
Thank you. What?
No, I said thank you already.
Actually, I think you bought it. I think we used.
I probably did buy it. Gosh, do you understand what I'm saying about it?
No, really, I do. I get it. I get it now.
Okay. But you know, you see these things, and it's like you wouldn't have seen this maybe if somebody wouldn't have posted it. Because, you know, for me, for instance, that I'm a prime example of this. I wouldn't know what was going on in the world if it wasn't for social media, because I am anti-news. I refuse to watch the news.
We've got that in common.
I refuse to watch the news. Now, I do know, which this we'll get to when we talk about cons, that you cannot get all your information from social media. I understand that. But for instance, I wouldn't have known that whatever tragedy happened if it wouldn't have been for Sally posting on social media and showing me pictures. So now I 100% now have empathy. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Very good.
Perfect. All right. Number 6. Pros of social media. Support for personal growth. Example, like-minded people. What do you think about that?
I have a whole opinion about this. That
Social
statement right
interactive
there.
groups are designed to help you connect with individuals who share your interest. One of the best ways to develop your character is to find a like-minded community that can boost your personal growth. Social media can help you do that.
I want to
Example,
do a
Instagram.
whole TikTok about that. Not TikTok. I want to do a whole podcast about that statement
Why?
right there.
You don't agree with it?
I think that's part of the problem with our society.
How do you think that?
Because us idiots get in these groups of people that think exactly alike, and then we start
Okay.
to segregate ourselves from other people.
I can see
and we
that.
start judging people. We get in these little church groups, and we're like, well, you don't believe in once saved, always saved, so you can't be in our church.
I think I agree with you on that when it comes to political and maybe spiritual issues. I was thinking more along the lines of like fitness. Like my Instagram is full of fitness, like-minded people. Therefore,
Yes.
I can have personal growth and support from those people because they
Yeah.
get me.
That's true.
Okay.
That's
or,
true.
you know, maybe it's sports. You know, you maybe your Instagram's all full of sport. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I think but I do kind of understand what you're saying. If you
Yeah.
surround yourself by all like-minded people, you don't get that growth of, like, it's okay for us to have opposing opinions, and we can still actually like each other.
You get smarter.
Right.
That's
I see where you're going with that.
Dumb people just sit in a room and go, yeah.
Right.
You know, I want. That's why I tell the kids all the time. It's like, get with people that aren't like you. Get with people that don't believe the way you believe.
No,
and
I agree with that.
And talk it out and respect them at the end of the day. You don't change your beliefs, or maybe you do.
No, I understand.
I don't know.
That. But I think what this was talking about was just like surrounding yourself with people with like goals, so maybe it can push you to get to yours.
I like that explanation.
You know what I mean? That's what I took from it.
I just that kind of stuff's where I like to take it and jump off the deep end sometimes.
I know you do, don't you?
It's exciting to me to talk about that stuff.
Right. I'm going to skip some of these because they're kind of the same, and since I don't really want to drag this out or anything. This one's kind of good though. Timely support during personal crisis.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So something happens in your family, and you put it out there because you need help. It is not timely to call people. You can tell a mass on social media if something happens and you really need help. You don't have to hear it through the grapevine, so to speak. You don't have to send a letter asking your people for support. You know, whether it's prayer, whether you actually need money. You know, they have these GoFundMe's. You know, and it works great. You know, if it's legit and you really need something, maybe your house catches on fire and you lose everything. It would take forever to get the word out to your community that so-and-so's house caught on fire and they have all these kids and they need help. You put one post on social media and within minutes, it's happening.
Right.
It would if it weren't for social media, that wouldn't be able to happen.
This is true.
Well, and this is one, enables you to become an inspiration. I mean, that's the given. Support for your talent and craft. That speaks huge for me. If it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't have nearly the clients that I have now. Not nearly the clients that I have now.
You might not be in business without it.
I would not have the business that I have. There's no way.
No.
There's
not where we're at.
No way. As easy as it was. I'm not saying it was easy. I grew it and I worked my butt off, but I'm just saying.
You worked your butt off, but it grew much faster than expected.
Right.
And it was due to your getting out on social media.
Right. It came in handy. Okay, the last pro we're going to talk about is, and I think this is true as well. I don't know if I agree with every statement of this, but it says strengthens relationships with family far away. I think that it does, because you can stay in contact easier. I don't know that it strengthens, but it might help you stay in contact. So maybe in turn that does strengthen it. Because I know that there's a lot of family I would never talk to if it wasn't for social media, because they don't live right in my town. You know what I'm saying? Like cousins and like aunts. And uncles, I mean, I think it really
does. It could strengthen if you actually start a relationship and an ongoing thing. If it's just you're watching each other's posts,
that's what I'm saying.
That's not
really
just keep it up.
It's
not strengthening. Right. Yeah. Which is what I do. I don't really keep up with anybody.
Right. Well, half your family doesn't.
I mean,
have
I keep up with them. I watch. Well, I mean, a lot of them do.
Your immediate family, they do not.
No.
Your immediate family.
My immediate.
I can think of one. Emily's the only one I know of.
Right.
Yeah. I don't
the
see
others.
Jay on there. I don't see Jonathan. I don't see Courtney. I don't see your mom. I don't see your dad. So the majority of your immediate family does not have social media.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, they're missing out. They're missing out on because here's what the thing is. I think they're focusing on the cons that I'm getting ready to talk about.
Right.
So they're missing out on all these pros because they're focused on the negative. Oh my gosh, the negative. And I think that's what people do a lot with social media, because there is negative, and I think people all the time gravitate towards there because everything that I'm getting ready to tell you on this negative, almost everything, is up to you to not happen.
Ooh, okay.
Everything, almost everything.
That's a lot of life, though. That's a lot of life. We create fears, we create problems for ourselves, and we limit ourselves from things because we don't have the discipline.
Right. So, like I said, almost every con on here can be avoided for you, but not all of them. The first con can cause addiction, and it can. I know that firsthand. I mean, it can be addicting.
Yes.
But guess what? Addiction's on you.
Right.
At the end of the day.
addiction, like we did a podcast when we first started about addiction and digging into it. It's a very habitual is one thing. Addiction might not be the right word. I don't know if they should use addiction.
I think you might be right.
Because you know what addiction is the opposite of what you just said. It's not on you. An addiction, you can't help it, right? It's something you can't control.
Good point. But I think getting to an addiction, you can. If you figure it out that you have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you can sit here and say, oh my gosh, I'm spending too much time on TikTok, or I'm spending too much time on Facebook, that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not saying, right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think addiction is a strong word when it comes to social media. I think it should be reserved for more of the serious stuff. I think habitual is a much better word for that. And that is a con, because you don't want to be habitual. You don't want to always.
You don't want to neglect your kids. You don't want to neglect your wife or husband. You don't want to neglect your dog.
Right.
You don't want to neglect your yard work.
Oh, yeah,
you may not want to neglect, whatever, but it can become a problem.
Right. Okay. Number 2, triggers insecurities. I talk about this all the time. But again, I know that it can trigger insecurities, but again,
you're in control.
It's up to you. When you start feeling, and I say this all the time to my clients that complain about this, if there is something that is triggering an insecurity in social media, whether it's somebody's account, whether it's a page, whether it's the whole app by itself, get rid of it.
It's good advice.
Delete it. Unfollow that person if they're making you feel a certain type of way. It's okay. You must do it. I've had to do it so many times. Everybody's insecure. And when I first started out on this fitness journey and everything, and I became a personal trainer, I was on Instagram and I saw all these personal trainers that were like kicking ass and they were like doing better than me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm not doing enough. And this is da 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 da. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I am doing a good job. And this person's making me not because they're a bad person, not because they did it on purpose. They're not doing it on purpose 90% of the time. People that post things are not looking out to try to make someone feel bad. You're not posting something and be like, oh, I hope this makes somebody feel bad. No, you don't. But it might. And if it does, you need to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's not their fault, and it's not that they're a problem.
I'm not saying.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I'm just.
My point is though it could trigger something. That's why I don't follow hot guys, just hot girls. I'm kidding. But that takes me to a thought like that I bring up a lot with the kids or when we're talking about stuff, and I heard a good analogy today. There was a guy who says, "What do you get when you squeeze an orange? Do you get lemon juice? Do you get apple juice? Do you get And it was like, no, you get freaking orange juice, right?
Right.
Because that's what's in the orange.
Right.
So what's in you? What do you fill your head with? What do you fill your body? Because that's when you fill yourself with negativity, and when you fill yourself with bad thoughts, or you obsess on negative thoughts, where's that come up? It comes out in traffic. It comes out with your kids when you bite at them. I've done it because
we all have.
You're jealous, or you have something going in your life that you don't like, and you don't know how to deal with. So then when you get squeezed, what comes out?
That's a good analogy. I like that.
Right? So I love that. I thought that was really cool.
That's really good. I like that. Number 3, and I could see this happening, it enhances FOMO, fear of missing out.
It does.
So you want to log in all the time because you're like, did I miss something? Did I miss something? What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? So you're always trying to log in, always trying to scroll through Facebook, always trying to scroll through Instagram and TikTok. Did I miss anything? And I think that's true. I don't really feel like I struggle with that so much.
I'm just down to I'm down to TikTok and Snap now. That's pretty much where I spend the majority of my time.
Yeah. I spend a lot of time on TikTok, but I also spend a good amount of time on Instagram as well. Facebook, not so much. I broke up with Facebook when all this Rona started happening because people were acting like idiots, which leads me to a con that was not on here but was brought up in the TikTok feed just now, and a drama. Drama is, and they're right. I think it was Marcus maybe that said it, is the biggest thing on Instagram. On social media. The biggest con is drama. I'm not in the drama, which is why I'm off of Facebook. I told you that little story this morning about that what I read on Facebook this morning, and I'm like, you guys, we are freaking adults. Why are we doing this? Like, why is this drama? This Facebook is like middle school. Facebook is like middle school.
It's ridiculous.
Full of drama and mean girls, and I want no part of it. The only reason I have a Facebook is to keep up with people that I want to keep up with, and for my business. I do well
But that's
on Facebook for my
but see,
business.
this is the problem: is you're a secure, mature adult, you're a secure, mature person, and you don't. People that are insecure or have an issue, and they get to hide behind that. They're having these freaking debates, and they're starting drama that they'd never start face to face. Right.
It's terrible.
And that's what I heard on a guy talking about fighting, because he's talking about jujitsu.
Right.
And he's like a monster. He's a Navy SEAL. He could kick anybody's butt.
Right.
But he's talking about training people jiu-jitsu, and they're like, I don't want to fight. And he's like, that's why you learn jiu-jitsu. He's like, guess what? He's like, people say I could probably take on anybody, but he said, if anybody wants to fight me anywhere, you know what I'm going to do? Anybody. They can call me anything, they yell at me to do anything. If they come and they start saying something they want to fight, you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm running the other way.
Yeah.
I will never fight you. Now, I want to know how to fight, so if you get a hold of me, if you jump on me, if you grab me, I want to be able to get away from you. But he said, the people that want to fight are those people that want drama. They've got something wrong with them. And 90% of them can't fight.
Right.
That's what he said. He said, I would hurt them so badly. Or they'd hurt me. He said, everybody's got a chance in a fight.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the drama. It's like, what's wrong with you that you want to freaking get in a conversation that you know is going to end in conflict?
I have no idea.
And you're not going to change a mind.
I have no idea.
Because someone that's going to come out on Facebook and talk about that stuff and be combative, they're set. You're not going to change their mind, no matter how good your point is.
No, you're not. You're not at all. But we all know drama is probably the number one con. There is another one here, increases risk of depression, which that kind of ties in with insecurities, because you see what people have, you see the happy family, you see the happy couple, you see the house that they live in, you see cars they may drive, you see education they may be getting, you see jobs they may be getting that you wanted, and so you start, what is the word?
Mirror.
No, well, the word that people would understand. You start, what is the, it's, not comparing, but envy. You start envying this.
Self-pity.
Which will lead to, like, I'm never going to have that, so now I'm depressed. So I can see where that would do that. And again, if there's people, if there's accounts, if there's whatever that's doing that, get rid of them. I mean, that's the part of it you can control.
Feed yourself positive.
I don't like what this is making me feel. I don't like what this person's IG account is making me think about. I don't like what my friend's Facebook is making me think about. So mute them so you don't see it. Okay? I've had to do that with people. I just don't want to see it. And maybe it's just the point that they're getting on my nerves, and I don't want to see them, so I mute them.
Right.
You know, or just delete them. It doesn't matter. This one's obvious. Falling behind with work or tasks. You know, you get sucked in at work, on social media, and crap. Now I have 8 emails to respond to, and I missed 2 calls because I'm scrolling through Facebook, reading all the drama. You know what I mean? Or I'm on TikTok watching all the TikToks, right? So, you know, anyway, that's that. Now this is the one that I think that probably one of the only ones that we cannot control. Everything else I think we can kind of control a little bit, and it's privacy risk. I know that your privacy can be invaded, and that's some things that unless you're technically advanced, that you might not be able to control a lot of. I mean, I know I had somebody hack into my Facebook.
Sure.
And start posting
a couple
stuff.
Times, right.
Right. So, you know, there's that risk there. And here is a big one. I think this one is right up next to drama and maybe causing habitual, like being too much of a habit. And it prevents you from having real human contact or interaction. And I think that's true. I think we rely so much on social media, and we know so much about our friends and what's going on, and we know exactly what they're doing. I mean, look at Snapchat. I do it. We all do it. We put on our story what we're doing. I'm here, now I'm here, now I'm here, now I'm here. Why do I need to call you then? Why do I need to talk to you? Why do I need to ask you how you're doing? Because I already know, because I see. And I'm guilty of that. I put everything on my story pretty much. People know everything about me because people can know my favorite color, my favorite flower, my favorite everything if they just watch my story. So therefore, you don't need to really get to know me more, or you don't need to call me, or you don't need to check in on me because you can see I'm doing okay. So it does kind of prevent you from having real human contact and interaction. And I don't like that part of it. I've gotten away from hanging out with my friends because of that.
Yeah, no, it's easy to know too much. It's also dangerous in a way because people can watch you and learn more about you and figure out where you're at and what you're doing and who you're. You know what I mean? It's just that's a negative that's hard for you to control unless you limit it, unless you
Right.
Unless you're very cautious about what you post and when you post it.
Real quick, 2 more. We've gone a little bit over, but it's okay. Makes you doubt your own judgment, which you could. I mean, maybe, you think you have an opinion on something and you read through other people's, you're like, oh, wow, do I? Maybe good.
I think that's a good thing.
It could.
I think that's a good thing.
It could be a good thing. But when you're like doubting your decision because you think so-and-so maybe did, you know what I'm saying? I think it's good for you to like broaden your horizons and open up your mind. But actually doubt your own judgment, I don't think that's such a good thing.
Yeah.
And then the last one, and this is obvious, and this is another really bad one. I forgot about it. It was the last one, but missing out on family time.
Yes.
I think a lot of us do miss out on family time because of social media, and our kids are guilty, and we are guilty. We are all guilty.
Sure.
All of us are guilty of that. Well, maybe not all of us, but I'm talking about my family. I'm not talking about anybody else's family because I don't know. I think that there needs to be stricter rules with us, with no social media time. And, that includes us when we go out to dinner. I mean, you and I are just as guilty as the kids. We'll all be scrolling on our phones, and we're like all sitting there together, and we have a great, strong knit family. We're not having any struggles in our closeness. We are a very close family. We hang out, we do things, but I'm just saying, it needs to be more connected when we're doing things like dinner, or when we're doing things like if we have family game night, which we need to do more of. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all on our phones. All of us do it. But
we're all on our phones, and I'll say this to that, though. I'll say this to that because we tend to, on certain things, like when it comes to family and when it comes to communication, we will sometimes just look at the negative of that. But I could argue that growing up, I didn't have this kind of communication with my dad.
Well, that's true.
My girls and me, we snap or we talk or we chat every day.
That is a good point.
Me and my dad, when we talked? At dinner.
That's a good point.
30 to 40 minutes, and he went back to work, and then he'd come home and he might kiss me on my head while I'm asleep. But I mean, us talking and getting to know each other, and like me knowing how, all I thought of him was a disciplinarian, and the only time we really, really got a chance to like hang out and talk was either when he was coaching me in basketball or we were at the beach, right?
Right.
During a regular work week, I'm talking to Brooke during the day. I'm talking to Maddie during the day. I'm talking to Kaylee during the day. Like, they're texting me. We're having conversations about stuff, which I think is a positive for technology for our day and age.
I agree with you on that. This is not really related to social media necessarily.
No, it's not. It's not.
But I mean, I know that I think our kids are probably closer with us than I was with my parents, because it's easier to type something to your parent or to anybody than say it. So I think they share a lot with us that they might not say to our face. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to tell the truth over a text because you're not immediately right there in front of them and you fear the reaction. Right. There's that distance between the telephone and you. And by the time, my mom asked me if I did this. I want to tell her the truth. She's not right here right now. She'll have time to cool off. I'm going to tell her the truth. Whereas if you're face to face with somebody, you might be more apt to lie because you don't know what's going to happen right then.
Well, it's a reaction, right? I mean, it's your defense, your fight or flight. You just say, I got to escape this situation.
And two, I think that, I think it does, you can lose out on family time, but I think you can do fun things together as a family through social media. Look at what me and you and Brooke and Nate do on TikTok. Not Maddie so much. But we make TikToks together. We watch them together. We send them to each other. It kind of does kind of bring you together sometimes.
It does, as I'm saying. It's like I sent Brooke probably 3 TikToks today, and we laugh and we talk about it.
So there's that too. So anyway, I think this was a good topic. I'm glad we talked about it.
I like it. Good choice.
Because there are pros, there are cons. So take social media for what it's worth. If you want to focus on the negative all the time, then do that. But there are also some really good positives. Like you said, it's not going anywhere. It's just going to get more. So you're going to have to learn to have social media in your life and not become addicted, not compare yourselves, not become judgmental and cause drama, and just focus on the positives. Do what you can to make it positive.
I agree.
Boom.
Bam.
Mic drop.
Don't drop it.
I won't. I hope I spoke better into the mic for you tonight, sir.
This is for you too. I'm trying to help. These mics, you do have to get really close to them for them to sound good.
Okay, sound good.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Okay, friends.
Peace out.
Later.